Welcome, 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 everyone, to the Women's Empower Network. I can't wait for you to meet Maryann, and perfect time, perfect place. And we were talking about finding our personal empowerment. And Maryann, if you could share a little bit about your story and how you were telling me how you came about doing what you're doing now.
Well, as I was mentioning to you, I grew up in the Midwest, and in the Midwest, you are expected to honor your parents, which is wonderful. But my mother, she was so enmeshed with me, whatever, that I gave my power away to her. And that is a habit that I continued for decades, never really living my life, always trying to please others as a way to survive, because that's the way I learned. If I didn't do what my mother wanted me to do, I wasn't going to survive. So the mother wound, so to speak, as sometimes people talk about it, was pretty deep for me. And about 10 years ago, I got an email about this program called The Art of Feminine Presence, and it just spoke to me, something about the title. So I got on a call. I knew there would be some sort of offer or whatever, but my body was just yes, yes, yes the whole way through it. And so when she offered the program, I mean, my finger hit the button. I'm like, yes, I'm there. And I traveled to Colorado and never looked back, because I have been in that community now ever since 2015, able to really embody my feminine essence, which I had pushed away as, shameful, or you don't go there, or you don't dare speak up. At home, I just wanted to be invisible. So it has allowed me to just be who I truly am, aligned with what I call source energy. And I facilitate other women to embody their feminine power, be in their feminine creative power center, and live from there with unshakable confidence, following their soul's path, no longer settling for less. I see so many women settling for less, and I was one, because I had no idea how to get out of that, or that it was okay to want something. It was okay to be happy. It was okay, and I can really now be at peace. I was always searching. I'm a seeker, always searching for peace. And now that is, I mean, it's not out there, but I didn't know how to access it.
That's so beautiful. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. I mean, it's whenever, what is that expression? Whenever the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So can you tell us
Yes.
more about when you talk about feminine essence, what does that mean to you?
It means that I did a lot of work years ago with David Data, where he talks about the masculine and the feminine and whatever. And I discovered then that I'm an extreme feminine essence because of various characteristics or whatever. But it's really an intrinsic sense of who you truly be. When you're in your feminine essence, if you're an extreme feminine, you're joyful and happy. And it doesn't mean that you're, submissive and quiet. It's not that. I mean, yes, you can be, swinging your hips and all that kind of thing, but it's a power, it's your essence of who you truly be, and just happens to have a feminine quality to it that when you're in it, you are totally aligned, as I mentioned before, with what I call source. You're totally aligned with the true essence, if you will, of who you are. Because when you come into this planet, you have that essence. And then, through various things, you're kind of off of that, or you are distracted from it, or it's, somehow not exactly beaten out of you, but, it's, oh no, that's not okay. And so you dumb it down. So to be fully expressed in that is pure joy. It's just pure joy. And when you have that pure joy, you're in your essence.
So it sounds like what comes to mind is it's the absence of thinking something's missing. You're feeling whole and complete.
Possibly. I think of it as more as an ownership. You're owning who you truly be. You are owning your power. And it's not a power over anybody. It's, I'm in my power, which allows everyone to be in theirs. So you're an empowered being grounded inside your power center, which allows you to move through the earth and on the earth and not be part of it, and truly speak from and act from divine intelligence. So it's a way of life. It's a way of life that once it's a practice. I mean, it takes practice. I've been at this for over 9 years. So, but once you embody it and it's in you, so to speak, it's a cellular thing. Nobody can throw you off center. And you are a force. You are a force to be reckoned with, not in an overpowering way or anything, but in the truth of who you be. You are just authentically yourself. So people trust you, and you can share all that wisdom that's coming from the divine, coming from universal intelligence with absolute certainty.
That is so beautiful. I know that I've personally wasted a lot of years what I call sleepwalking.
Me too. I lost my health because of it. In the mid 80s, I divorced my husband and quit my teaching job and moved from Iowa to Arizona, thinking I'd start a new life. And one day I woke up and I couldn't stand upright. I had to crawl because my organs were shutting down. I had abused myself so badly because I was so unaware that it was like the universe just slapped me to the ground and said, "You either listen up or you leave the planet," because I was on my way out. So that was the beginning of my spiritual journey, really, because it was like, okay, I'm listening.
Some of us
And
need a bigger 2x4 than others.
that was a huge one. It took me 5 years to bring myself back into homeostasis. And the only reason I was able to do it was because I had networked with someone who just happened to call me that morning that I was crawling on the floor. And she muscle tested me morning, noon, and night for 5 years, sometimes more in health food stores, to find out what my body needed, because Western medicine just dismissed me. No, no, you're fine. I wasn't fine.
And unfortunately, so many times it takes a major event, whether it's our health or relationship or, some major life event to get our attention. But do you feel that that's necessary?
Not necessarily. I think, well, it depends on your belief as to what you may have chosen when you came into 3D. And all the work I've done on myself and all the various programs and all the modalities that I've learned and used and everything else, I do have a faint memory of when I was 3 as to when I kind of like gave up the ghost, if you will, and disconnected from source and gave everything to my mother. And so I disconnected somewhere, and we just have to remember to connect. But depending on our path and maybe what we've chosen, maybe there are things we need to quote unquote learn or see or whatever. And so it takes us on a little bit of a journey until we come back to this. Or maybe in this lifetime, that's not our path. I don't know. Everybody has their path, in my opinion. So it is what it is. But my goal or passion, mission, whatever, is to be there and be present for women and listen to them and offer with permission. I may have something that can help with this, and maybe take them through an experiential situation, a practice, or whatever that allows them to come inside themselves, allows them to come home to themselves a little bit. And then if they're ready, then they can continue to practice that. But not everybody's ready. Everybody has their own timing.
And that's a very significant and important point, that what you're looking for is inside and coming
It
back.
is. Yeah, not everybody's ready. And not everybody realizes that. And you know, we're talking about kind of walking around to sleep, whatever. Some people, that may be that what they do this lifetime, you know, I don't know. I just know that for me, I can be in a room full of people now. I used to be afraid to be in a room full of people, especially, you know, in a room of women, because whoo, I can't watch them all at once, you know, I'm not safe. But I can just be there and be with people, and I can see where they're at, and there's no judgment about it. It's just like, oh, I see, that's where they are, and that's fine and whatever. But if we have a conversation and if there's anything I can offer with permission that may assist them, may allow them to not have the 2x4 to the head, I mean, I'm there. I'm a huge women's advocate.
And I'm so glad you're here. I absolutely am. Is there any parting words or words of wisdom that you would like to share?
Hmm. It's just if you're uncomfortable, if you are in some sort of pain, if there is something that's not working in your life, please reach out. Don't um just implode in yourself. I did that for so many years, just, you know, being inside and not trying not to let anybody see, you know, that there was something going. Please, if there's something going on and you're not feeling good about whatever it is, yourself, a situation, whatever, please reach out to someone that you trust and tell them. You know, it's kind of like the Robin Williams thing. You know, he had so much pain inside, but he was always effusive. Who would have known? And my life was a lot like that. I could look all put together on the outside. No one knew what was going on in here. And I had no one to say it to. Back, you know, when I was growing up, there weren't counselors or therapists or whatever. And so I just went into myself, which, you know, there's no help in there, but I just kind of shrunk. So please, if there's anything in you that you're just not comfortable at or whatever, please reach out to a trusted person.
Yes, and the thought, and if you don't have somebody that you feel you can trust, pray that somebody shows up.
Yeah, you can always ask. There's unseen help around us all the time. We just forget to ask
I
because
know,
we can't
right?
see them, right? So do ask for that, or if there's some way to go, even to a free agency of some sort in your area, whatever, where they offer free counseling just to speak to somebody because they have, you know, there's confidentiality there, and it would at least be somebody to, so you could just get it out. Sometimes it's easier to say that to a stranger. Yeah,
Right, because there's no judgment.
exactly. Exactly. And when I'm with women and work with women and whatever, there is no judgment. I mean, I've either said it, done it, heard it, whatever. Who am I to judge anybody? You know, this is a safe place. I'm all ears. How can I serve?
That's so beautiful. So if somebody wanted who resonates with your message today, how can they get in touch with you?
They could email me. They could just flip my name if they see it here, hessmaryann@gmail.com. They could go to maryannhess.com as well. And I'm also on Facebook.
Beautiful. Well, we'll be sure to put her contact information above this interview so that you can easily find her. And Maryann, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me, and it's been such a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you so much.